The Great Dollar Reset. Hi, it's Charlie giving you today's video. And the difficulty when you put videos out with sort of titles like now is just as you put the video out, the dollar will go and do a retracement. but but nevertheless, it's the subject which is important here. I've been trading the dollar and specifically, therefore, the euro dollar, the biggest currency pair, for years and years and years, and I've been trading a number of high-level patterns for since about 2015. So about the last 9 years, I've been trading these high-level patterns on the euro dollar, and I'm still trading them, and I forecast that I'll be trading the same pattern for about the next 2 years. And what's been going on? So this is just a daily chart, and of course the dollar's falling a bit. The risk is that the dollar comes down to to parity, to 100 here. Sorry. So on the dollar index, so 100. So it's sitting at around about 101 and a half at the moment. 100, as we can see, is a really key historical level. When I put this onto my charts here, going all the way back, fun enough, to 2015. So it looks like a shoe-in to come down for that. Now that's about 150 pips lower than we currently are. But the title of the video is the Great Dollar Reset. So what am I talking about there? Well, there's other factors at play, I believe. In the world, obviously we've got US elections coming up, and I think it doesn't matter really which one of the candidates comes in. I think there's a dollar move coming post the election, as well as this side, and we're already starting to see a dollar move. If I put this onto a weekly chart here, you can see this move that we've started seeing on the dollar excuse me, over the past several weeks. In fact, if you check out my video from back in June on the dollar itself, and you need to watch it well into the video where I talk about the scope for the downside, because what I've personally been looking for is the downside here, which seems weird because when you look at the monthly chart, overall on the monthly chart we can make a good argument for the upside. However, there are, and if you check out that video, I talked about the Aussie dollar, I talked about all of the major currency pairs. There's a lot of patterns within this, so you don't just analyze, as I said then, purely something like the dollar index. You have to look at the dollar against the euro, so euro dollar, pound dollar, Aussie dollar, etc., etc. And what I see across multiple currency pairs there, or dollar pairs, the majors, certainly 6 of the 7 majors, is the scope for more dollar weakness. So if I go and have a look at the quarterly chart, one thing I talked about back in that June video was this divergence on the dollar index from the highs of whenever that was, 2017, that early high of 2017 there, to the high of 2022. This is a quarterly chart here, and so we've had a divergence. I haven't got the indicator on at the moment, but we've had a divergence between those two peaks. And when we get those sorts of divergences, like any, nothing's guaranteed. But if the divergence is going to play itself out, as a minimum, the dollar should get to this 50 period moving average on this time frame. That 50 period moving average is currently around about 94. So now we're talking 600 to 700 pips lower than where we currently are. And actually, I have some further analysis which points towards the 90 mark, which, as you can see on my chart here, is a very interesting level, also going back over a couple of decades or more. So this is my view. This is how what I'm trading. I don't often on my YouTube videos talk about exactly what I'm trading, and I'm not going to go into specifics of how I'm trading this. That's for me and and my community, but we are, effectively trading the dollar a lot across many different means. I trade the euro dollar a lot, and many of our community are trading alongside. But also we talk about the pound dollar, Aussie, gold, silver. There's all sorts going on. So that's what we're doing. But what I'm looking for overall, and we won't really know the outcome to this until probably I don't know how long this will take, this dollar reset. But really, if the dollar itself is going to end up running down to that 90 zone, which is what I'm looking for, that could take, this is a quarterly chart. Of course, we could have a big old run and it could get there sooner than I think. But realistically, would be looking, if that was to play out, most likely going into 2025, which sits well with some of the cycles as well. So the big dollar reset, that's what I'm trading. That's what I'm going to continue to be trading. Essentially, is this dollar reset, and what I'm calling it a reset, just because I think it's a retracement of the entirety of the move that we've had thus far, from the lows of the dollar index back in 2007-8 time to the highs that it made coming into the latter part of 2022. So it's a reset from that 14-year bull run is what I'm overall trading and doing. If you want to join me, by all means join us, because I see this as a really interesting, fascinating time as we're coming towards those US elections, but also beyond as well. So there you go. That's my general view. And of course, that view, therefore, does trip over onto other currency pairs and into other markets as well. I think it's a fascinating time to be trading, and I think some of these markets, even though the dollar index by itself, just looking at a quarterly chart, doesn't really look too much. This is why you have to do inter-market analysis and look at multiple markets with multiple patterns. You have to look at the fundamental drivers, what's going on between central banks. You have to look at the sentiment backdrop within markets as well to really gain a bigger picture. But nevertheless, fascinating times ahead. So that's my overall view. It was my view in June, it was my view in January, that we, and really, that high came in late, as I said, I think it was September of 2022, that high, and essentially I've been trading a lot of that since then, since that latter part of 2022 and beyond. Anyway, I hope you have a lovely day. By all means, add some comments, but that's my big picture view for the dollar.